You wake up on an ordinary Tuesday. Your parents own their home. Your fridge is full. Somewhere else on this same planet, on this same Tuesday, someone your age wakes up too. Same intelligence. Same work ethic. Same dreams. But their family has never owned anything, and no matter how hard they work this year, next year will look almost the same. Why? For centuries, the easy answer was culture, or laziness, or bad luck. That answer is wrong. The real one is stranger, and closer to your own daily habits than you'd expect. Rewind 500 years. Spanish ships land in two very different places. One crew finds mountains of silver in what is now Bolivia. Another finds thin soil and no treasure along the coast of North America. In Bolivia, the strategy is obvious. Build machines of extraction. Forced labor. Ship the silver straight to Madrid. In North America, with nothing to steal, settlers are forced to build something else. Property rights that mean something. Courts. Systems that reward whoever works the land. Here is the strange part. Those systems do not disappear when the empires leave. They get inherited. Economist Daron Acemoglu and his colleague James Robinson traced this exact pattern across dozens of former colonies. The places richest in resources back in 1500 are very often the poorest today. Not despite that early wealth. Because of it. When a system is built to extract value rather than create it, new leaders simply step into the same machine. The incentive never really changes. Capture value? Do not build it. Ask yourself something. If a court could be bought by whoever has more money than you, would you spend 10 years planting an orchard? Would you build a factory that could be seized the moment a new government takes power? Most people would not. That single hesitation, repeated across millions of decisions, is enough to freeze an economy in place for generations. But institutions are only half the story. The other half lives inside your own skull. In 2013, researchers Sendil Mullainathan and Eldar Shaffer tested sugarcane farmers in rural India. These farmers are paid once a year, at harvest. Before harvest, cash is desperately tight. After harvest, for a short window, it is not. The same farmers took identical cognitive tests during both periods. Before harvest, the same people scored significantly worse. The gap was close to 13 IQ points. Roughly equivalent to losing a full night of sleep. Same brain. Same person. The only thing that changed was financial pressure. This is called a scarcity mindset. When your brain is constantly solving for survival, it has less room left for anything else. Saving for school. Planning a business. Thinking 5 years ahead instead of 5 hours. These become luxuries the mind cannot afford, because every unit of attention is already spent on today. Multiply that across a village. A region. A generation that has never known anything else. Now you understand why simply sending aid money does not fix things overnight. Scarcity does not vanish the second a check arrives. It takes years of stability before a mind shaped by survival starts planning for growth instead. There is a third trap, and it is almost invisible. Money does not just fail to arrive in poor countries. It leaves. Nations with weak institutions are charged far higher interest rates by lenders, so debt payments eat into roads, schools, and hospitals, which justifies the high rates all over again. Meanwhile, officials who know their power could vanish overnight quietly move assets abroad instead of investing at home. Picture a bathtub with the drain wide open and only a thin trickle from the tap. No matter how hard you turn it, the tub never fills. And then there is the cruelest trap of all. Conflict does not just destroy buildings. It destroys trust. Civil wars and coups wipe out a generation's schooling in months. Doctors and engineers flee and rarely return. Neighbors stop trusting each other. When peace finally returns, the country is not starting from zero. It is starting from negative, rebuilding both skills and trust that took decades to form the first time. So is any of this permanent? Look at South Korea in 1960. It was poorer than Ghana. Today it is one of the wealthiest nations on earth. Singapore had no natural resources and no fresh water of its own. Today it is a global financial hub. What changed? Property rights strengthened. Corruption dropped. And crucially, enough stability arrived for the scarcity mindset to finally loosen its grip. Once people believed the future was worth planning for, they started planning for it. Savings rates climbed. Education became a priority. Small investments compounded into larger ones, year after year, the same way interest compounds inside a bank account. That is the real mechanism underneath all of this. Poverty is not a lack of effort or intelligence. It is a set of interlocking traps. Extractive institutions. A scarcity-driven mind. Capital quietly leaving through the back door. Conflict resetting progress before it can compound. Each one reinforces the others, which is exactly what makes the cycle so hard to break from the outside. But every trap has at least one weak link. Break it, and hold it broken long enough, and the others begin to loosen too. So think again about that ordinary Tuesday morning. Your parents own their home not because your bloodline is smarter or more deserving. They own it because somewhere in your family's past, a link in that same chain broke early enough, and stayed broken long enough, for stability to compound into something real. The person on the other side of the planet is not failing to keep up. They are still waiting for their first link to break. History has shown, again and again, that the chain is old. But old things can still be dismantled.